Shot in 1988, released in 2002, Visual Vengeance brings to Blu-ray Linnea Quigley starring in Scream Queen. This is a film I'd never heard of, although frankly, most of what Visual Vengeance releases is stuff I've never heard of. If you don't know Visual Vengeance, I'll say what I say every time I talk about a Visual Vengeance title. They're this company that is dedicated to doing really good editions of films that were either shot on video or straight to video in the video store era of the late 80s, mid 90s, films that don't ever get a lot of respect, probably have not seen a release since they originally came out on VHS or DVD, and they just load them with extras. And for the most part, I've really enjoyed these. I was saying when I popped this disc in, I think I've enjoyed every Visual Vengeance release. They're not necessarily movies I want to keep after I watch them, but I'm always pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoy them. I shouldn't have said that out loud because I really did not like Scream Queen. I thought this was really pretty terrible. Apparently it was shot on 8mm video. I don't even think it was high 8. I think it was regular 8 video. The quality of this, and they put disclaimers up at the front of these to say this is the best available this disc is made from the best available elements, and deficiencies inherent to the original formats are present, but we hope you'll still enjoy it. And I don't mind that, that's fine. But I always say with these too, when I was renting this kind of stuff, I wasn't renting this kind of stuff. When I was renting movies in the video store era, I always felt like I got duped if I rent something that was shot on video because it always felt cheap to me. Being shot on film, 35, 70, 16, 8mm, whatever, being shot on film, there's this distance, there's this membrane between reality and film. And video to me always looks more real. Fluidity of motion, it looks a little bit more real than film does. So it's harder for me to separate myself and feel like it's fiction and not just people screwing around with a camcorder. And this film kind of felt like people screwing around with a camcorder. It's better than that. There's certainly some talent on display here, but I really had a hard time getting through this. It's only 74 minutes, and it was one of those where the opening titles take a really long time. It's like 10 minutes until we get to the opening titles, and it's like some titles for a really long time, and then like a scene of something, and then some titles for a really long time. And as I'm watching it, I'm saying, I bet this is going to have one of those end crawls that is like 8 minutes long. I wasn't wrong. I was off on the number, but not wrong on the technique. So directed by Brad Sykes, stars Linnea Quigley, and features in a very tiny, brief role, Courtney Joyner, who I know now as somebody who is on the extras for all kinds of boutique Blu-rays as a film scholar. He's on a lot of the Film Masters releases and things like that. And it's just funny to see him years earlier. Doesn't look anything like he does now as an actor in this. It's available in English stereo audio with English subtitles, and it's 4:3. Shot on video. And my reaction watching this was, it looks like a copy of a copy. Like it looks like a bad copy of this. Now, who knows? I don't think they got into it in the extras that I recall. If this, what the source material was for this. But anyway, people who like this kind of stuff can usually overlook the bad quality. But for me, I mean, bad acting, bad lighting, bad writing, bad audio quality, which is one of the most unforgivable things. And it looks like a washed out, maybe it was SVHS this was shot on. Sorry, SVHS is what this was shot on. So it really looks and sounds bad. And it's got some gore in it, if you're into that, some practical effects and gore. And you might be the kind of person who would watch this and like it for how bad it is. And that's cool too. And there's a lot of stuff that I appreciate because of its lack of quality. But for me, the technical quality was so rough on this, and it was just, and I like Linnea Quigley. She's in some really fun stuff, and I've met her, and she's a super sweet person. But this was bad. So the basic idea of this is that it's very meta. It's kind of a mind bender. It opens with like footage of a horror film being made, and something goes wrong, and the camera pulls back, and then it becomes sort of like behind the scenes, or they're still shooting the footage where Linnea Quigley is this diva scream queen on the set of a film, and she gets mad and she quits and she drives off set, and apparently, because it's not in any way clear when you're watching it, her car explodes as soon as she gets out of camera range, and then she becomes this legendary scream queen who died on the set of her last film. The director has this infamous footage that everybody wants to see of her last film, and the director and the various crew members and cast members that we see in that first scene are all invited by mysterious invitation to some house, and they're greeted at the door by a strange little person, and they find, I don't want to give too much away, but this really is kind of the setup for what the rest of the movie is. They find that Linnea Quigley did not die, and that she knows one of those people there was responsible for trying to kill her, but as a gift to them, she's going to shoot her movie. She's going to pay them all for the time it takes to shoot this low-budget film so that the film can be completed, because it's a film she wrote. And the only hitch is that they can't leave the house. They have to all stay in this house, and that's that. And wouldn't you know it, one by one, they start getting bumped off by a black-gloved killer. So I'm like, okay, somebody likes giallo films. And then there's a sequence toward the end that is directly taken from the opening of Dario Argento's Tenebrae. So I'm like, okay, somebody knows their stuff here. But to me, the best thing about this movie was this spoof of These Boots Are Made for Walking, that, not Christopher Walking, but Walking, not Joaquin Phoenix. This spoof of These Boots Were Made for Walking that Linnea Quigley performs in the film, that you hear a couple times and you see a music video for, also poorly shot with the sun directly in the lens and all kinds of dust on the lens, called This Chainsaw's Made for Cuttin'. If this had included a 45 with this package, I'd be like, cool, I'll keep that. But that's really the best thing about it. So as I said, very long opening credits, incredibly slow end credits. The film ends at 70 minutes, and then it's 4 minutes of incredibly slow end credits. It's not good. So, extra features. Commentary by writer-director Brad Sykes. Once Upon a Time in Horrorwood, behind-the-scenes documentary, 30 minutes. Producer's cut of Scream Queen, which I did not watch. That's 78 minutes, so it's 4 minutes longer than this. I just couldn't. Sometimes I'll skim through them. Sometimes I'll take a look at them. 70 minutes was enough. Linnea Quigley interview, 12 minutes. She's very sweet. She's very positive about the film. Editor Mark Polonia interview, 3 minutes. He's very positive about the film. Behind the scenes image gallery, that's 3 minutes. It just plays straight through. It's weird to see these stills that are in such sharp focus and so full of color. They look so good compared to what the film quality looks like. It's really strange. There's a Linnea Quigley image gallery that's a minute. There is original script excerpts. That's 7 images, and that's a step-through thing on your remote. The original trailer, that's 2 minutes, and then the Visual Vengeance trailer that runs 1 minute. So having said all of that about thinking this is really not a good film, I got to show you the packaging, because Visual Vengeance, if nothing else, they do amazing packaging for these releases, and everyone has something unique in it. So you get this new artwork, which is very nice, very cool, on the front and the back of the slipcover. The slipcover slips off to reveal different, new, and very cool artwork. The artwork on this disc is so much better than the film. The artwork in the menu page, the menu is kind of based on this too, and it animates. And so the front and back there, and then this is where it gets really cool. So you have the artwork again on the disc. You take the disc out and the other stuff that I'll show you in a second, and it's yet another alternate artwork. I think that's probably what the original DVD or VHS box cover looked like. They tend to do that. And then you get, this is fantastic, you get a Video Store Membership Club card. 4-star video, 99-cent rentals every Wednesday, large selection of adult videos, and there's a place for your signature and the date you joined, just like the old days. That's laminated, that's pretty cool. You get a set of stickers that are video store type stickers that say SLP, staff play, they would never tell you that. Staff pick, martial arts, bizarre, do not copy, top rental, parental warning, all that stuff. They always put these in these releases. That's fantastic. You get a booklet for Scream Queen with different artwork on it, and fold out photos of behind the scenes and a lot of text, and that's just a trifold dual-sided thing. And then you get a collectible Linnea Quigley poster, which is very cool. It's her with one of the weapons that's used in the film. So really nice release from Visual Vengeance. I just thought the movie wasn't any good. So if you want to add to your Visual Vengeance collection, they've all been really nice releases, even if I think this is, to me, the first dud that they've put out. From 1998 or 2002 or 2024, I think this might have been even released last year, technically. I'm getting this one a little bit late. Scream Queen.